deserving and warm welcome for Troy Brown. And this time I'd like to call to the stage the president of the New England Patriots, Jonathan Kraft.
Thank you. All the American Patriots that are serving overseas, protecting all of us every day. And Raytheon said, we think football and the New England Patriots are just the coolest medium to help show. He's been with this franchise in one capacity or another for 44 years. 44 years. 11 years as a player, 3 years as a coach under Ron Earhart, and 30 years as a broadcaster, 28 with this gentleman right here. And there are generations, you look around here, most people who are here today unfortunately didn't get to grow up watching Gino play, but like me and my brothers, when we started paying attention to the Patriots in the early 70s, he started doing the games when I was 8, and my dad, when they were on the road, because we were here when they were at home, he wouldn't listen to the broadcasters on TV because he said they hated the Patriots. And we had to listen to the radio, and he would say, listen to Gino Cappelletti. This guy knows football. And for those of you who don't remember, he holds, aside from being the leading scorer in AFL history, he holds the franchise record still to this day for points scored in a season. And that's a 14-game season, not a 16-game season. And since Drew got here 20 years ago, think about the offenses we've had. The record is still Gino's, 155 points. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame in Canton as well as here. Gino, come on up. We commissioned something. Phil Bissell, who designed the original Pat Patriot logo, is 86. He's here today somewhere. Phil, raise your hand, please. Where are you? Anyhow, Phil's here. Hopefully the camera's on him. We asked him to design this to represent all stages of Gino's career. It'll hang in the hall along with his bust.
How quickly they forget he wanted to know who I was. I'm going to ask each one of these gentlemen a question, and we'll start off with Gino because you're the oldest. For 44 of the last 52 years, you've been an active part of Patriots football. This is your first fall in 24 years that you won't be broadcasting the games. What do you think you're going to miss the most about not being around and associated with the Patriots during the football season?
Well, first let me congratulate Troy Brown on being inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame. That's what we're here for. And Troy has been a favorite of mine, I guess because of the way he plays the game. All the good things that seem to be happening during the course of the game, it involved Troy Brown. And so I would like to just embellish on that some. But as far as your question is concerned, I'm still trying to come down from 19 to 18 handicap in golf.
Gee, that career. Knowing the rigors of an NFL season, what impresses you the most about Troy Brown and the sustained success that he had throughout his Patriot career?
Having watched Troy Brown for so many years, I think one of the things when I watch the game is I look at players and I say, could this guy have played in our era or eras before that? Troy Brown was one of those guys. I've told people that for years. He's a football player. He could have played in the 60s. He could have played for the 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. He played football the way the game was supposed to be played. He had fun. He worked hard, did the best he could, did anything they asked him to do. And not everybody is like that on a football team, but he is one of them, and I've admired him for a long time, and I'm happy to have him join us in the Hall of Fame.
All right. That's it. You're the one person on the panel whose career overlapped with that of Troy Brown's. What do you remember about his arrival back in 1993?
Well, I'm up here to kind of apologize to Troy. I traumatized him his rookie year. He ain't been the same since. He saw some stuff that he shouldn't see for a young man coming into the National Football League. As Grog say, he's the original throwback. He's old school as it gets as a football player, and he's probably, in my opinion, the last of the old school football players in the National Football League. Not taking anything away from the players that are playing today. But the way we played it back there, we were able to get away with a little bit more. Brucey could have did it with us too. This is a PG story, so I got to keep it clean. And but Troy Brown saw something that, like I said, most players shouldn't witness. But he saw our interaction with a player coach in the middle of a game. And that escalated from the sideline into the locker room, and it just went on, and the locker room got messy, and things got bad, and words got said, and things got done. But as I looked around, I saw Troy sitting in his locker, and he was looking at me like he had this look of, wow. And we look at the word perseverance, discipline. All of those things are how we describe a football player, but if you look into the dictionary, as we said, you look up the word perseverance, you look at a guy like Troy Brown, and he is the example of what every football player should be like. You know, no matter how much you get kicked down or you get cut or you're told that you can't do something, you guys should always tell your kids to look at Troy Brown, and he's the exemplary example of what it's about.
Thank you all for being here. This is really super, and what we hope would happen when we built this place, and I think Jonathan covered it beautifully. But I want to begin by recognizing the contributions of a man who came to the Patriots as an unheralded player, earned a roster spot as a special teams player, became one of the greatest receivers in franchise history, and even contributed as a defensive back. And when he retired, he transitioned into the broadcast booth. The man I'm talking about is Gino Cappelletti. Not our beloved Troy Brown, that's for later. So once again, I want to thank Gino's. You know, as many of you know, Gil had a tough battle this year, and he had the fight of his life. And like so many of us, he lives for Patriot football and fought to return for one last season. So it's an honor to have you back in the booth this year, and He is the longest tenured broadcaster of anyone in the NFL, 36. One of my favorites, Troy Brown.
Yeah. patriot, one who loves his or her country or team and supports its best interests. Patriotism. Love for or devotion to one's country or to your team. I'm done. Well, let me thank each and every one of you out here today for being here. I do appreciate it tremendously.
Thank you.
I can think back to 1993, and trust me, this was the last thing on my mind, was standing behind this podium talking about being in the Patriots Hall of Fame. And it's not that I didn't believe in my abilities or what I was capable of doing. It just seemed like it was such a hard track and hard to get traction to start my career. And as hard as Zolak fought to get me the ball in my early days of my career, it just didn't seem to work out. But I'm glad to be standing here today. I've had a lot of love, a lot of support from a lot of people, a lot of fans, a lot of coaches, a lot of teammates along the way. And I want to thank you right now because it is greatly appreciated and it will never be forgotten. So give yourselves a round of applause for that. And I didn't forget about you, Mama. You know, as we do at all these things, you can't forget Mama. So, well, and I get asked the question a lot. What made you want to do this? What made you want to play defense? What made you want to do these different things? Well, when I talk about my mother, she is one of the most unselfish people that you ever come across in your life. We didn't have a lot, you know, couldn't do a lot of things, but if she had $1 more than the next person, that person needed, trust me, she would give it up. And that's the kind of heart she has. She not only raised me, my brother, and my sister, but she was the oldest girl of 9 kids, and she sacrificed a lot to help her mother raise those kids too. So she was my mother and she was my father when he was absent from my life. So she did a very good job of teaching me the Patriot way. So it started early on, Mr. President. I'm not gonna cry. Where's my DJ? Can you put that song on, Mary J. Blige or something? I'm not gonna cry. But my brother, my sister, Dwayne, Nene, I love you dearly. I know I can get on your nerves sometimes, and you know, they probably see some of the meaner sides of me than most of you get to see. And that's not very often, but they do take a little flight from me from time to time. But I love you for all the support you've shown over the years and continuing to show up. And it's funny that a lot of the things that I do receive, a lot of the awards and praise that I do receive, they are always more excited than I am. You know, jumping up and down. It's not the first time I fumbled. Hey, Belichick, Charlie Weiss, that coaching staff, I don't know what it was they saw in me. I don't know if because I kept grinding. I heard Drew telling the story last night. working out, doing all kinds of crazy things, jumping up and down in trench shoes, jumping rope, whatever it was. But when they came back in here in 2000, when Robert Kraft hired him back, one of the first things he did was call me and told me he wanted to give me an opportunity to be a starting receiver for the New England Patriots. And he went even further in 2001 where he decided to put Terry Glenn down for the season after, 4 or 5 games. He suspended him for the rest of the season and really giving me the confidence that he believed in what I could do and my talents and guys like myself and David Patton. And I really cemented my career for me, man, and I do appreciate that, Bill. All of the players who played before me, before 1993, you please stand up. Sit down, Zolak. Standing up. Yeah. I have a tremendous amount of respect for you. If you want to stand back up, I wasn't done, but I was going to tell you respect. I appreciate and I honor, and I will never let anybody forget about what you guys did for the New England Patriots and the National Football League. Top need a little chapstick too. Okay. No. Let's get back on track here. I have to say, you've always supported me and treated me like I was a native New Englander. I am also honored I was able to spend my entire career here in the red, white, and blue of the New England Patriots. Now, you guys can be a bit temperamental. Your temper can be a little out of control sometimes. But I appreciate it. I got to know you and know who you are, because when you were happy, you let us know it. When you were unhappy, you let us know it. Hey, but look, I embraced it. It forced all of us to work harder, to get you guys to cheer for us, get behind us. We could be 14-1, come out and get down 20-0, we get booed. That's all right. That's all right. You know, made us work a little harder. And look, and you guys can be intimidating when you need to be, though. You know, you can be. I remember the coach coming in here, opening night, the 2004, and you guys were intimidating. I remember 2004 playoff game. 2003 playoff game when they came in here, we shut down Peyton Manning 20-0, 21-0. So don't ever forget, when you're out there in those stands, guys, you are the 12th man, holding us accountable and pushing us to be better than our best. So I'm gonna leave you guys. Look, I trust me. They get the most votes out of anybody next to Drew Bledsoe. You know, I don't know what to say to you, but thank you for so much love and support over all the years that you guys sat up there in those bleachers, aluminum bleachers, cold, yelling and screaming for us, supporting us. I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And Mama, again, Thank you for teaching me to do things the Patriot way early in my life. My teammates, my fans, my owners, my coaches, we came, we saw it, and we conquered it. Thank you very much.
Well, great job by Troy. Not a surprise.